Yo, what is up guys? Welcome back to the channel. This is a story about Naruto. What if Naruto and Ino get arranged marriage? Part 4. Hope you will enjoy the video. So let's start the video.
Ino smiled when they found him still asleep and said, "How would you both like to know what to expect for the rest of our lives?" Both girls smiled evilly and shook their heads. Three girls who are still panting look over at the real Naruto as he dispels the clones. Ino, who finally caught her breath, said, "Where the hell that came from?" Naruto smiled and said, "That was a sample of what I have been planning for our wedding night." Tenten said, "Screw the wedding night. If that is a sample, I can't wait till we try the main course." Everyone looked at Yuki, and her eyes were fluttering from the pleasure she just experienced. After a few minutes she calmed down enough and said, "Any doubt I had about being in love with you is gone now." Naruto leaned over and kissed each woman passionately, even though his lips were sore. Tenten looked at Ino and said, "What were the seals you did before we started?" Ino said, "Sound barrier." Everyone laughed, and Ino said, "When I first was with Naruto, I used that birth control I told you about, so please don't tell anyone anything I told you." Both girls nodded, and Naruto said, "So, how do you feel about me and Ino now?" Tenten said, "I feel okay with it, but I don't think I can walk for a while." Ino laughed and said, "I had the same problem until Tsunade healed me." Yuki said, "I think I will worry about walking tomorrow. For now I am going to sleep right here." Everyone laughed and agreed to share the bed. Naruto got in the middle, and Tenten rested her head on his left shoulder. Yuki on the right, and Ino got on top of him and laid on his chest while wrapping an arm around the other two girls. The next day Naruto got up after replacing himself with a clone as he took a shower and got dressed for breakfast. By the time he exited his bathroom, the girls had finally started to stir. Naruto quickly went downstairs and made rice for everyone. Tsunade and Shizune walked in and sat at the table drinking some coffee. Jiraiya was still asleep. Ino walked in and gave Naruto a peck on the cheek before taking a bowl of rice and sitting down. A few minutes later Yuki and Tenten both came limping and helping each other. Shizune shot Naruto a questioning look while Tsunade banged her head on the table. Tsunade then got up and started helping Tenten by healing her legs and stomach. She then started on Yuki's legs and then went to her stomach and started, but stopped after a second. She then went through some seals and went to Yuki's stomach again and looked at Shizune before walking over to Naruto and hitting him on the back of the head. Naruto turned and looked at her and said, "What was that for your old bag?" Tsunade said, "Well Pops, I just wanted to make sure I got your attention." Naruto said, "You could have just said my name, and did you just say?" Everyone had stopped and was watching them, and Ino said, "Why did she call Naruto Pops?" Tsunade said, "Well, Mr. Jackrabbit here has one of you pregnant." All three girls looked at each other and said together, "Who?" Shizune said, "My guess would be Yuki." That white Tsunade ran a scan on her. "Am I right?" Tsunade said, "Yeah. It's just starting, but her chakra flow is already being diverted to her stomach." Yuki sat down and said, "I am going to be a mom." Naruto walked over to her and knelt in front of her, hugged her, and said, "It is going to be alright. I am here for you." Ino walked over and said, "Me too." Tenten nodded and said, "We're family, now more than ever." Yuki said, "But we're not married yet." Naruto said, "Family is not always by blood or law. And if you're worried about that, we can go ahead and move the wedding up. A few days won't matter much. If it's alright with all of you, that is." Both girls said it was okay, and Tsunade said, "Well, I will go tell Sensei we're having the wedding this afternoon, and you can all go tell anyone you want to be at the wedding to be here at 3 today." Ino and Tenten both nodded, and Naruto said, "The only people I care to be here for would be the rookie 9 minus Sasuke, all the senseis, and Iruka, and Haku, and your family. I am going to stay here and take care of Yuki till you get back. Don't tell anyone about the pregnancy though." Both girls left, and Tsunade went to inform them. Naruto almost never left Yuki's side. He pampered her every way he could to make her not worry about anything. When Naruto left the front room to go get Yuki a glass of tea, Shizune sat beside her and laughed. Yuki looked at her and said, "What's so funny?" Shizune said, "Naruto reminds me so much of his father, it's not funny. He was the same way when I first found out I was pregnant with him." Yuki said, "What was Naruto dad like?" Shizune thought for a moment and said, "Look at Naruto for his courage, pride, and his protectiveness. Think about the love you have for him, and that is the same as it was for his father." Yuki smiled, and Naruto walked back into the room. He had just sat down beside Yuki when a knock came to the front door. Shizune got up and opened the door and came back a moment later and said, "Naruto, there are some people here to see you." Naruto was confused, but got up and looked through the peephole to see who was there. He turned around and said, "Mom, take Yuki and leave the house for a while. If you see anyone who's supposed to be here for the wedding, stop them and tell them to go to the Hokage office and wait for me. Don't let anyone come here. Do you understand?" Shizune heard the warning in his voice and said, "Is everything going to be okay?" Naruto said, "As long as I deal with them alone for now. Please do this for me, and hurry." Shizune grabbed Yuki's hand and left through the kitchen door. Naruto turned and opened the door and said, "Enter." Before turning and walking into the living room with his back to the guest, the short one said, "Are you Naruto?" Naruto said first, are you a vessel or a raccoon? With his back still to them. Gaara said I am the vessel. Naruto said good, have you told anyone about this? Know that I will find out the truth before you leave this house. Temari said what makes you think you can stand up to us? Naruto shapeshifted and forced his demon chakra into his eyes and turned to look at them, releasing a massive amount of color intent toward them, and said because I am the new 9-tailed demon lord, king of all the tailed beast, and I am more powerful than you can imagine. The 3 sand sips fell to their knees trembling. Even Gaara, because Shikaku was trying to get further into his cage away from the being in front of him. Naruto stopped the killer intent and said, so answer me truthfully or I won't be merciful. Did you tell anyone about what you were told? Gaara said no, I told them both if they did I would kill them. Naruto nodded and said to Gaara, I want you to give the raccoon control for a few moments. I want to talk to him. Do not worry. He won't harm anyone or eat your soul. I will destroy him if he tries. Gaara used the force to sleep, and Shikaku took over, and said who are you lord, and what happened to the old Kyuubi? Naruto said the old Kyuubi and Ibi have both gone to the other side forever to enjoy eternity. He bestowed on me, and someone I know who came back, but I won't tell you their powers, because I proved myself worthy of it. Shikaku said I heard he was sealed into a child. Are you him? Naruto said, do not think I am weak. What you felt before was not even half a tale of my power. And yes, I once was that child. I am far older than I appear. You know the benefits of what I became, and you know what can happen if the new lord so chooses. Shikaku said, so how old are you, lord, and why come back? Naruto said I am 26 by human standards, but this body is but half that. I came back because this world was in ruin by the greed of mortal men who tried to use our power as their own. You, Sibi, who is impersonating her sister for safety, Sanbi, Yanbi, Gobi, Rakubi, Shichibi, and Hachibi, were all captured and sealed in the idol of Yoroi Sasori body armor Scorpion. Shikaku hissed and said we should have destroyed that creature when we had the chance. Naruto said it's too late for that. I have a plan to stop this, but it will come at a cost. Temari said what is it that you are talking about? Naruto said what I am planning is something that must be done. The reason it worked the first time for our enemy is because all the tailed beasts, but 2 are sealed in objects or people right now, and are too weak to defend themselves properly. Shikaku said so you are going to free us, lord. Naruto said since, yes, but not the way you think, I want you to do the same thing Kyuubi and Ibi did, and make Gaara the new 1-tailed demon. In doing this you return to Makia in your normal body, and not your demon body, and will be acting ruler of your domain, until Gaara returns after he either is killed or goes there in 60 to 80 years. Shikaku said, but lord, is there no other way? I like the taste of these human blood. Naruto said silence, you do not have a choice. It is either do this or be trapped in that idol for eternity. Shikaku bowed his head and said it will be done, lord. It will take till sunrise to do it. After that I shall be gone, and this boy will have my knowledge and powers and be the new lord. Naruto sighed and said do not feel bad Shikaku. This is for the best, and your time to rule is over. When you return to Makia seek out my predecessor and have him help you with humility. When I come I shall bring a new peace to our world. If you change your ways and become the being you were before you came to this world, I will make sure you still have some power and a comfortable life. However, if you do not, I will send you to the Shinigami himself for punishment. I already am planning on the men who seek our power meeting him. Don't make me send you as well. Now go back in your cage and let the boy have control and let him in peace for you for the next few hours. Shikaku left Gaara and Gaara said I do not understand. What is going on? Naruto sighed, returned to his normal human form, and sat down, and said sit, we have much to talk about. The Sand Sibs did, and Naruto said what I said was true. I came back from 13 years from now. The events that happened during this Chunin exam start a series that ultimately leads the world to be destroyed, and your deaths. Do not worry about your father not liking what I am saying. The snake Orochimaru has probably already killed him, and is impersonating him, as we speak. Temari gasped, and said father's dead. Naruto said if not yet he will be soon. Nothing can change that. It's for the best anyways. The next Kazekage helped lead Suna to prosperity for a while until he died and was revived, and war dominated the lands. Kankuro said who will replace my father. Naruto said I will tell you this. Originally I defeated Shikaku's true form, and taught Gaara a lesson that changed his life. He learned to protect his precious people. Gaara went back to Suna and became the Kazekage, and started changing his people from seeing him as a demon to a protector and hero. I can only hope something similar happens this time without me nearly killing him. Gaara said so what are you planning? Naruto said the events that lead to the attack must happen with one hopeful exception. If he runs before I can kill him then I will have to do it later. Orochimaru is my main target right now. When the battle starts, you are to remove your headbands and surrender without fighting. If you agree to this, the Hokage will order the guards at the arena to leave you alone, and I will talk to the other finalists that will be there. Gaara, do not severely hurt or kill any leaf ninja, with the exception of Kabuto if you have to. He is Orochimaru's right-hand man, and also the one who kills your sister after he lets his men have their way with her in a few years. She dies with child. Hopefully not this time. Temari shivers and clenches her fist thinking about that, and Kankuro cracks his knuckles. Gear said, I understand. Why are you willing to help me and my family? Naruto said, after our fight, I became an unofficial brother to the three of you, because I had respect for each of you since I helped you change gear. Shikaku will be gone soon, so you can't blame him on any death you cause. You have a new chance in life, use it well. Kankuro said, so woe's the sap that knocks my sister up. He gets hit over the head with a fan. Naruto chuckled and said, sorry, won't tell you. It could be me, or it could be some lazy ass genius or some new hotshot ninja who comes in off the street. Just because they happened a certain way once does not mean it will happen again. That is the main reason to come back. Gear said, we should be leaving. Naruto said, yeah, I am already late for my wedding, and my brides will probably kill me. Temari raised an eyebrow and said, brides, as in one, and you are a little young to be getting married. Naruto chuckled and said, I have 3 right now. I am the last heir and possess a bloodline, so they want me to have children left behind when I die. Kankuro said, but you are a demon right now, so that means you can't die. Naruto said, only those I trust know about me being a demon. As for Dot, I can die in battle, but it would have to be extreme. Gear Desert Funral would not be able to do it, so it has to be stronger than that. I plan on making it look like I get older, as I get older, and then when the time is right I shall go to Makia, and make it look like I died here, and meet my family there. Temari said, so what about your family here? Naruto said, when they died they will be brought to Makia. It's hard to explain, just trust me. I trust you can stand out of here so anyone following you won't see you, and get to investigate. Act like we never met, and you're still crazy when we meet. But remember my warning. And with that the flame to the Hokage office. Temari said, so should we trust him? Gear said, Shikaku is behaving, and says do not doubt him or get on his bad side. Kankuro said, scary. Gear-san shushed them to their hotel room. Naruto appeared in the middle of the Hokage office in a burst of flames, and everyone was looking at him. He said, sorry I am late, I had some important guests to deal with. Ino said, was it the raccoon? Naruto nodded, and said everything went according to plan. Kiba said, okay, what the hell was that, and what are you talking about, raccoon? Naruto sighed, and saw everyone he wanted here, and said, old man, before we have the wedding can you put up a privacy? The third nodded, and did the seals. A few minutes later Naruto said everyone might, as well, have a seat. This is going to take a while. Naruto sat down on the window sill, and said almost all of the genins are in the dark about this, also, Iruka and Haku don't know this either. You all heard how I had Kyuubi sealed into me at birth by my father the Yodium, anyways the Kyubus is dead. Kiba said, so we throw a party, what's the big secret? Ino said the secret is how Kyuubi died. Shikamaru said, why do you keep talking like there's another Kyuubi? Naruto said, well genius, it's because there is. All the genins who did not know tensed. Sakura said, relax, he is good, and is actually trying to save our village unlike the other one. The third said the Kyuubi that was sealed in Naruto made a deal to send him back in time to change our future, and in doing so gave his life so Naruto could travel back. Naruto became the new Kyuubi. Naruto said to come back and change the future, I had to become the new Kyuubi. Shino said, what proof do you have that you're from the future? Naruto pointed to Zabuza and Haku, and said the first time Haku died defending Zabuza from Kakashi, Zabuza died defending Haku's body while he killed Geto. Also, the war that is about to start is another thing that is my proof. Asuma said he has been giving us a little bit of information to help prepare. We had Ino dad enter his mind, and he saw the event himself including all of our deaths or your names on the memorial stone, before the Leaf Village was destroyed. He speaks the truth. That's why we've been changing things, and my fiancée is pregnant. Kurenai slapped him, and said, you are not supposed to tell anyone about that. Everyone laughed, and Ino said okay, also you should know not to let Sasuke know any of this. He is one of the key players that leads to your deaths. Choji said to Ino, how do you know so much? Ino sighed, and said I also came back with him. We were the last 2 survivors of the Leaf Village. Suna, Snow, Wave, Waterfall, all fell to the enemies we have coming. Shikamaru got in his thinking pose, and said, what info can you give us for what's coming? Naruto said, right, well Orochimaru will be in the Forest of Death during the second part of the test. He has a spy that will try and befriend all of us to get Sasuke's trust. His name is Kabuto. Don't use names around, because he is able to get info from it for Orochimaru. The team from Suna, the one named Gare, listen closely, if you fight him don't go all out, and forfeit. None of you can beat him. I just changed history so the demon that was sealed in him won't tell him to kill you anymore. After tonight he will become like me, and Ino, the actual demon instead of a vessel, but don't provoke him. No Gatesley. Ino said Kankuro is a puppet user, Temari is a battle fan wind user. Tenten, you are at a disadvantage agent sir. Her wind abilities make it where you always miss. Even your ultimate attack. Naruto said I already told them not to fight in the war, and to surrender old men so long as they listen, and they should since I helped them get their brother back. Anyways, if you make it to the finals, I won't tell you if it does cause it might change, but don't go all out. I know some of you won't like this, but if you fight me at any time, don't go all out because I have all my knowledge of the future, plus my bloodline I don't want to reveal, since the people who will be coming after me might find out. I don't want to accidentally hurt one of you or tip off the wrong people. We only have one shot. We can't come back again, so prepare as much as you can for the coming battles. We had to keep it a secret before now because of spies. Tsunade said I even had to limit the people I am training to be medics to women, so I could not tip off Kabuto and the snake theme. Tsubasa said, so that's how you knew we would be in the waves, huh? Naruto bowed to Tsubasa and said, yes, I originally befriended Haku after the first battle when she was getting medical herbs for you. She taught me that a person can only be truly strong when they have something to protect. I hope you are not mad, and if you are to blame, only me. I would rather lie to you and keep you alive than see you die for a fool like Gato. Tsubasa said, don't worry kid, I have had the time of my life since I came here, and Haku has also. Do you have any idea how much fun it is scaring the shit out of guys who ask Haku on a date, and introducing them to my big head chopping cleaver here? And besides the missions, the pay is great. Haku has also learned a lot from Tsunade, and your mom. I thank you. Everyone laughed except Kiba, and said, dude, you are scary with that thing. Haku said, you should know better than to try the pickup lines. I want to do it doggy style, while trying to sing Who Let the Dogs Out. Kiba muttered under his breath, as everyone laughed. Naruto sighed, and said, this is the only warning I can really tell you. No matter what, don't befriend Sasuke. Hinata said, why is that, brother? Everyone looked at her, and Naruto said, sadly Sasuke wants to get the same level of the Sharingan as Itachi, his brother, has. To do this he has to kill his best friend. He becomes so deranged later he thinks anyone who once loved him he has to kill to get it. He personally killed 4 of you in this room, and tried for 2 others. Everyone looked down, and Yuki said, well, if that's all, we have a wedding to get started. Kiba smiled and said to Naruto, since you have 3 women to please, you need someone to help you out from time to time, or to teach you something. Ino, Yuki, Tenten, Shizune, Tsunade, and Jiraiya all burst out laughing at that one. Kiba said, what? Yuki said, trust me, he doesn't need any help or advice. Jiraiya said, as he grabbed his notebook, and said, you are giving out details. Naruto sighed, and snapped his finger, and Jiraiya's notebook caught on fire. Jiraiya said, how did you do that? Naruto said, don't put me or my wives in your books. I am a wind user. Combined with the spark from my snap, I can ignite a small target within 5 feet. Sakura heard Kakashi giggling, and said, what's so funny? Kakashi looked up from his book, and said, oh, this is just a good book. Naruto looked at the book, and read the title Adventures of an Heir Volume 1. Naruto said, hey Gramps, that's not about me, is it? Akamaru jumped up, and grabbed the book, and ran to Kiba who got it, and ran around the room, and started reading aloud. The flower maiden screamed out the heir name, as he ravaged her body. The book was suddenly engulfed in flames, and Naruto said, you have till the count of 10 to run. As he pulled out a tri-pronged kunai. 10 9 8 7 6 5 4 3 2. Enough said Naruto, is there something you want to tell me about my daughter? Naruto smiled, and said, nope, I am just ready to marry her, and live happily ever after. Sarah said, quit trying to scare your son-in-law, or I will get the broom handle. Enough said, he's not my son-in-law yet. Naruto said, let's get started. A third smiled, and said, dearly beloved, we are gathered here to witness the marriage of Naruto Kazama to Ino Yamenko, Tenten Grandeur, and Princess Yuki Fujika's of Snow Country. Kiba said to Princess Fune, that's where I saw you from. Lucky boss. He was hit over the head by Kurenai, Hinata, and Sakura. A third said, now where was I? Oh yes, do you Naruto take these women, to be your lawfully wedded wife to protect, and cherish for the rest of your life? Naruto said, I do. The third said, do you? All 3 girls said together, we do. The third smiled, and said, please exchange rings. Dustin walked forward, and said, I was asked to make these rings for you. They have the Horatian seals in them, so here you go. As he handed 3 rings to Naruto, and the 4th to Tsunade. Naruto grabbed all the rings, and channeled chakra, and said, I need all 3 of you to channel chakra into my hands while I do this. All 3 girls did, and the ring stones all went from having clear diamonds to rainbow diamonds, as the colors of the rainbow went through them. Naruto said, these are a sign of my love for each of you, as well as protection. If you are ever in danger, and can't get out, just channel chakra into the ring, and it will call me to you. And he slipped 1 ring on each girl's hands. As soon as he did that, the ring tattoo on Ino and Naruto hands started to glow, and one appeared on Tenten, and fingers, as well. Suddenly a blinding light lit up the room, and everyone disappeared. Suddenly the entire group appeared in front of a large crowd of people who were cheering. Suddenly a voice behind them that Naruto knew well said, hello kid, it's good to see you again. Everyone turned around, and saw a man with red hair and red eyes, and 9 flowing tails behind him standing there. Naruto said to Kyuubi, what are you doing here, and what's going on? Kyuubi said, welcome to Makia, and, as you promised that you and your mates would come here for a ceremony for our people. When you did the ring part, it activated the summoning seals on your hands and brought you all here to finish the ceremony and the feast afterwards. You can drop the shapeshift, both of you. You are royalty here and should appear as such. Ino and Naruto both changed, and the ones who had never seen it before gasped, but could not be heard over the roar of the crowd. 3 figures walked up to them. A man, a woman, and a kid that looked about 15. The kid said, "Hey bro, it's good to see you again." Naruto said, "Gamakachi, is it you?" The man said, "Yes, it's his kid, it's good to see you again." Jiraiya said, "Gambunta, is that really you?" Gambunta said, "Yes, he is a pervert. Now quiet down or I will sit on you the next time you summon me." The woman turned to Tsunade and said, "Hello Tsunade, it's good to see you again." Tsunade smiled and said, "Katsaya, it's nice to see you again, how have you been?" Katsaya said, "I have been good. Have you found any new summoners yet besides our lord here?" Tsunade said, "No. Not yet. Is Naruto the lord of summons also?" Kyuubi said, "No, he is lord of the tailed beast, and their domains like your fire lord is over fire country, but in his actual domain, he is like but, as soon as the ceremony is complete, the fox and the cat's domains shall become one domain, and shall be ruled by him and his mates, both demon and mortal ones. So shall we conclude the ceremony. If I am to guess, then all that is left is the kiss." Naruto looked at the third, and he said, "You may kiss the bride." And Naruto created 2 shadow clones, and they ran around in circles for 30 seconds, and all 3 stopped in front of a girl, and kissed one, and moved to another, then the last. Naruto then ran in a circle again, and dispelled the clones. Kyuubi laughed, and said, "Always the trickster Huckit, now no one, but you know which one got the first kiss from the actual you. If they would allow me the honor." The third nodded, and Kyuubi said, "I would like to introduce the lord of our United Kingdom, Naruto Uzumaki Kazama, and his brides Ino Kazama, Yuki Kazama, and Tenten Kazama. May they lead us to true happiness." Then the people cheered, "All hail Kazama." Suddenly a bright flash again, and everyone was back in the office. Naruto said, "Damn fox. I should have known he would get the last laugh." Kakashi said, "What do you mean?" Naruto said, "It was our party, and he kicked us out." It finally dawned on everyone, and they laughed. After that, Naruto and Ino changed back to human, and Kiba said, "So, what's with the different look, and what was that about Ino?" Ino said, "The only way I got to come back was if I became a demon also. I became the 2-tailed cat, Naruto became the 9-tailed fox." Kiba said, "I don't care if you both are from the future. I will go all out against you just to see how strong you really are." Shikamaru said, "Troublesome." Hinata said to Naruto, "Could you tell us something about our future selves?" Naruto closed his eyes so no one could see who he was speaking about. "I can only tell you a little unimportant stuff that could, and hopefully will change, but I won't give much details. 4 of you have children, Sakura, Lee, Asuma, Kurenai. 4 of you will marry someone from this group, Shino, Hinata, Lee, Sakura. 1 of you will lose his wife while she is pregnant, Shikamaru, Temari. 4 of you will die by Sasuke hand, Sakura, Lee, Kurenai, Kakashi. 1 of you will die thanks to Orochimaru. The third 8 of you will die because of Akatsuki, Niji, Tenten, Asuma, Tsunade, Jiraiya, Shizune, Yuki. By 3 of you die because of a sound ambush, and Kabuto, and 2 of you should already be dead, so hopefully we can save the rest also. I have one thing to say, live every day like it's your last, and never do anything you have to say sorry for." Hinata said sadly, "I'm sorry I asked." Naruto smiled, and said, "Let's forget about all that death for now, and remember we should be celebrating. Come on, and cheer up." Everyone tried to smile, but they could not feel like saying, "I have an announcement that will cheer you all up. I'm pregnant." Silence. What everyone screamed. Naruto smacked his forehead. Suddenly a million questions. "How far along are you? When did you find out? Is Naruto the father? Are you sure? When is it going to be born? Is it a boy or a girl? What you going to name it?" Kurenai said, "Hey, we can help each other through it. I am only a month into it." Yuki said, "I am not that far along." Kiba said, "Lucky bastard, already hating that."
Thanks for watching my video. See you next time. Till then, sayonara.